Lightning like Steve McQueen. I'm in the fast lane when the light turns green. And I built tough, I ain't nothing but grit. Cause I made rugged blood, sweat, and spit. Yeah, like a horse I fly. Better push yourself in for a bumpy ride. I like to play hard, but I work harder. And I weather the storm cause I'm built stronger.
What is up, ladies and gentlemen? We are back. We are live. It's the Freight Coach Morning Show, the top morning show in transportation, coming to you guys every single weekday, 8:30 a.m. Pacific, 10:30 Central, to break down some industry headlines, and most importantly, provide some actual insight into what you can do with all of this information. If this is your first time tuning in, welcome. This is the real side of freight, ladies and gentlemen. And I say that before every single show, and what I mean by that is I only speak to transportation professionals on this show, as well as my twice-a-week long-form podcast, because I want to talk to the right individuals who have done what you're looking to do, or who are currently doing what you're trying to achieve, so you can take that information, apply it, utilize it, and see a meaningful difference in your business and your life. It's one of the many, many reasons why I proudly fly that American flag behind me every single day. A, we're the greatest nation on earth, but B, I'm living my American dream, and I want to help each and every one of you live yours as well. Happy Monday, everybody out here. Let's go. Happy Monday. Shout out. It says LinkedIn user. Let's go, Big Chris. Appreciate you. Bill McIntyre over on YouTube. Good morning, everyone. And without further ado, I'm going to bring my astute guest back on the show, who's been on a few times, and he's, got some big news, and he's got a freshly trimmed up beard and doesn't look the same. The strongest man in freight, aka Robert Bain, back in the house. What's up, brother?
What the fuck is up, Denny's?
Dude, that gets me every single time.
What's up, brother? How are you?
Oh, I'm doing good, man. I'm doing good. It's been one of those weeks, man. There's not a lot of, all the glitz and glamour of entrepreneurship that people talk about. And, I won't go into any of the details on it, but man, last week was a learning week, right? And I've come to appreciate them because it helps you grow in business. It helps you get a lot better and stuff. And, it also makes you appreciate your customers and everything else that work with you through things. Like we had a pretty decent sized issue that happened last week, and our customer was a phenomenal partner through it, right? So it's like experiencing that is it's always great at the end of the day. And then it also comes coupled with a lot of learning moments and everything else. So
but listen, man, as long as you do your 1,000 calls a day and you got your 5 impacts, and you're good, you're gonna be fine. Like that's how freight goes.
Yeah, man. It's dude, it is kind of funny seeing all those things now, like the freight broker starter packs and stuff like that.
It's great.
It's dude, it does, because it just literally reminds me of me when I was 20. I forget how old I was when I even got into this industry, but it's just like sitting on your desk ripping a Starbucks, and then Skull Mint was just that was my jam back in the day. God. Yeah, it was nonstop.
I never did the tobacco stuff, man, but I have a caffeine habit that will rival anyone.
Yeah, I'm trying to wean back on it, because I don't even know what day I'm on of 75 hard right now, but it's like I got to drink a gallon of water a day. And that's, on top of like the protein supplement, because I drink one standalone gallon of water a day on top of like the protein shakes that I drink, and then all the coffee and stuff that I drink. So it's like I've had to
welcome to my world.
Bro, I've had to like scale it back a little bit, because it's like I get up like 3 times a night to use the restroom. I'm just like, I can't do this.
Yep.
So where are you right now, man, with the blurred background?
We are live from Las Vegas, man. I'm here at Caesars. We're at Manifest.
Very,
very excited for this conference. One of my favorite conferences. We weren't sure if I was going to make it this year. There were some things happening, but first live show since it's happened. So I think it's time to spill the beans, man.
Say it out loud.
So Wednesday, my granddaughter joined us about 6:10 in the morning. Violet Alexander Gorbenko. She was 7 pounds, 13 ounces, 21 inches, incredibly healthy, beautiful. She is perfect. My daughter's due date was Saturday, and so it was a big deal. Like, we weren't sure if I could make it out, so we knew we had to make a call basically by Wednesday for me to come out. And Violet said, "Yeah, Papa's going." So she and Lily are doing great. They got back to the house on Friday and spent the weekend at our house. We had a awesome family celebration. My daughter's favorite food is crab legs, and so I crab legs home and grilled, and just now all 8 of us in my house, since Alex is spending some time with Lily's boyfriend is spending some time there too. So it's interesting. It's being a grandfather at 41 was not on my life bingo card. Here we are.
Dude, that's fantastic though, man. Like I remember when you first told me everything was going on, and I think, at the end of the day, man, it's just such a gift to be able to have children and to bring children into this world. And I think like it's like like you and I talk often about stuff, man. It's like we are that age now where we have to set the example for the next generation to protect and to set the standards for how, to live and everything else, man. So it's like, there isn't anybody else, man. Like I'm going to be 38 in a few months, and, I'm just a couple years behind you there. And it's true, man. Like my son's getting old. He's 12 now. And, and it's crazy to think, because it's like, man, I saw a stat, and I know there's a little off topic, but I don't care. It's my show. I saw a stat about like, when you spend the bulk of the time with your kids, and like literally it's like by the time they turn 18, 95% of the time that you're going to spend with your kids in your life has already passed. And it's insane, so it's like you got to cherish these moments, man. You really do, no matter what.
Absolutely, man. And that's, I do take it back to some industry stuff is, my kids have also grown up in the industry. I've been doing this for almost 20 years now, so they don't remember me doing anything else.
Yeah.
And so I think it's cool that, even like, talking with my daughter, talking with, her boyfriend, and talking with my oldest son, and we talk about careers. We talk about what's the next step. And, Austin wants to work in, something in the movie industry or something. Maybe he's doing like marketing. And then Alex actually has a connection to, some warehousing in the Chicagoland area. So again, it's cool that there's a way to set the example for it, but also to take care of those you care most about. And so, it's been a hell of a week. It's been wild.
Dude, I bet.
Yeah. And, but the nice thing is that everyone's like, oh, you getting a lot of sleep? Absolutely. Cause it's not my kid. So I can just handle it.
Oh, that's funny, man. Yeah, dude, it is. It's like, I get like, cause trucking's it's a family business for me. I've been in this industry literally my entire life. With my great
your family is 100 years in this thing.
Yeah, like when my great grandparents immigrated here, man, they got in and they started a trucking company and everything. And it's just like, I'm just like looking forward to it, especially with the evolution of the industry and where things are going. And it doesn't look like the traditional sense of, where things were, but that also opens up an opportunity for so many more people to kind of come in and explore it, who maybe not traditionally would have gotten into the transportation industry. I know obviously in the technology space, like I know that freight tech and everything else here has kind of gotten a bad rap. And I know all the doomsday celebrators love walking on people's graves while they're sitting on the sidelines and not doing anything. It's one of those things where, man, one of these companies is going to hit, and they're going to hit big. And all it takes is one, right? Like I think at the end of the day, going out for, cause it's like for me, man, going out on my own and doing my own thing. And, I've been very, very fortunate over these last 4 years of being self-employed. Like, yes, obviously it goes with a lot of work and everything, but man, I've been so lucky to meet some great people and have great partners from, like, dude, like the fact that I monetized a podcast is insane to me. You know what I mean? And that's another side of transportation. Like people are going to be able to get
monetize daily talking shit. That's
yeah, I know, right? And it's crazy. And I will say this, like one of the best, one of my like short-term goals is to buy a billboard in Las Vegas, multiple billboards in Las Vegas, actually on the route that my brother has to drive to work on, and just say, fuck you, Dan, on them. That's my older brother's name. And it has everything to do with the fact that he always told me to shut the fuck up growing up. Chris, stop talking. Chris, stop talking. And here we are.
See, these are the levels of petty that people should aspire to. You
100%.
become so successful that you can blow money on stupid shit like that because you can.
I literally, and it's just, I'm the younger brother. All right. I'm the younger, obviously with a comment like that, I'm the younger brother here. And I just, yeah, it's 100% a thing.
So I have to, this is off topic, but I have to share this. I am equally petty, just like you are. Right.
Yeah.
So let's rewind. So my daughter's 14th birthday is this coming Thursday. So let's rewind 14 and a half years ago. And I have two little sisters. My younger sister, Elizabeth, her and her boyfriend at the time were living in Sin. They were living together, and they decided that they wanted to get a dog. So they went and they found a boxer, not a breeder, but a boxer who had puppies. And puppy was probably 6-8 weeks old, and its name was Ella. Well, we had already decided we're going to name my daughter Ella. My wife, being pregnant, as you have experienced with pregnant spouses, becomes very emotional, very upset, thinking people are going to think that we've named our daughter after the dog. So I go and talk to my sister. She immediately shuts me down. So I go man to man and speak to my brother-in-law or future brother-in-law. I say, Travis, I need you to take care of this. Like, the dog doesn't know its name. Could you look at literally anything else? Yeah. I don't care. Get like Gabriella. I don't care what you call the damn dog. Please don't name it Ella. Goes back to a couple days later. He says, hey man, like, Liz is pretty set on it. Gonna happen. Okay. I will not forget. Fast forward to March of 2021. And the kids and Nikki have been kind of pushing me to get a dog. And I'm like, and my issue was this. I didn't want a dog I wanted a turnkey dog. I wanted one that was potty trained, that was, a rescue. It had to be good with cats.
Yep.
And so Nikki finds this dog. And she's perfect. She's this, at that time, 55-pound red-nosed pit bull mix. She's this big potato. And we meet her, and she's wonderful. And I asked what the name is, and the name is Ginger. I'm like, sold, done. So we sent a picture to the family group chat after we adopt her. There's Ginger in the middle of the car, all four of my kids, me and Nikki, and it was, oh, beautiful, awesome. What's the name? Ginger. In 30 seconds, I get a call from my sister. What the actual fuck? Because my brother-in-law's mom's name is Ginger. And I said, put Travis on the phone. I told you I wouldn't fucking forget.
Oh my God. Oh, I appreciate that. You have no idea how much I appreciate that. That is
listen, man, I love being petty. And when Ginger heard the story, she thought it was hysterical.
Yeah. Oh man. So dude,
she's like, either way people win, because the dogs got homes.
Yeah.
And like, they're awesome.
Yeah. Dude, I love that. That is absolutely fantastic. So what are you going to any talks? Do you have any sessions set up for while you're out here at this conference? Do you have anything online, or are you just kind of
all of the above? So I do have a couple shows I'll be on. I'll be on Word of the Street, like usually I'm on Fridays. I'll also be at on the Driving Forward podcast. We'll be going live from the Zell Logistics booth on Wednesday with GLCS and Nate Johnson and Susan Mayo. And then a lot of it's going to be just kind of guerrilla style, because again, it was so close to the conference when I decided I was going to be able to go. I really didn't have a chance to network a ton. When I announced I was going, a lot of folks have reached out, and so there will be a lot of ad hoc meetings, but I say my schedule is fairly open. So if you're listening, you're in Vegas, come find me. I'm easy to spot. I'm the short, stocky guy with the big beard, slightly smaller now. So I've got a bunch of folks that I've connected with through Manifest's technology with their app, and then just honestly, like, there's a lot of folks that are just here. Super fun. I actually met Juan Buena from he's from Colombia. He's been a member of the street crew. Yeah. I've never met him before. 4 years.
No way.
And finally met him last night.
Oh wow.
Oh, that's awesome. So dude, super dope, but that's kind of what these conferences are for, right? Especially in these post-COVID times in our new normal.
Oh god. Dude, you're gonna get me flagged. You're gonna get me flagged by even talking about now I'm gonna go back into timeout or stay in timeout. I don't know, wherever the social media forwards want to put
you want me to talk about what we talked about before the show?
Oh, that's funny.
I don't really get you in timeout.
Oh, dude, I've been in time. It's kind of funny how that works, but at the end of the day, man, I'm always just going to continue to focus on putting out value for the transportation industry as a whole. I almost wonder how much talk is going to be about the market, right? Because there is a couple of articles, and really, I mean, Robert and I aren't going to actually break down any articles, but we're going to break down the subject of a couple of articles, because there's a lot of big names in the industry now who are all putting out about official recovery in the market. So one article from fleetowner.com, Old Dominion and Schneider silver linings, but no more freight recession. And then C.H. Robinson says that they see some cautious shippers, but no near-term global demand upturn. And that one is from the JOC about that. I think it's going to be interesting, right? Because again, you guys, this is just coming from my perspective, somebody who actually works in the industry and who is actually working with customers on a daily basis and everything else. I'm seeing a lot of spot market activity coming out here, Robert. I'm seeing that tender rejection thing start to come out, but most importantly, I'm starting to see pushback from carriers on rates. And I was talking about this on Friday, and I think that that is the most clear sign that there is going to be a push for a faster recovery, because most analysts and most people sit here and said later 2024 is when it's going to happen. But I think the weather events that are happening out there right now are going to push people, and it's going to expedite it, and it's not going to come back down. And I'm seeing that a lot. I'm not seeing like drastic rate raises in pricing or pushbacks on rates. But, hypothetical example, a lane that, we would quote people $1,000 on and they would always snatch it up if we had to go to the spot market. Now people are like 12, 13, and they're holding firm at that and they're not negotiating down. I think that is the most clear sign that there is a recovery in the works, because tender rejections happen all the time. Most large companies' bidding strategy is to bid pennies just to get market share and then hopefully force a rebid in the event that they got to reject it. And then they're hoping everybody below them also did something very similar. So it just all gets rejected and then it forces a rebid out there.
Right. It's everybody played off themselves, and which, like, I get it. Like, that's how those are designed, is to create hopefully, the lowest quality provider. Certainly there are signs of recovery. I'm really interested to have some of the conversations. I've got a few set up with some VC firms.
Yeah.
And they're always very telling around the industry, because as they start to get in, there's a couple PE firms here as well that I'm interested to see what they're looking to do. Are they looking to invest in the industry? Or are they just, again, last year, there were also quite a few of these folks here, and they were really just kind of testing the waters, like just dipping a toe in. How's it feel? And there, as we saw, there was not a lot of VC or PE capital deployed last year.
Yeah.
And part of that is due to their ability to acquire capital. As interest rates go up, money's not cheap, and so it's a lot harder for them to do that. As we start to see interest rates kind of flatten out, you're going to see more access to capital, and you're going to see people start to invest more. As that happens, that then spins out to both technology solutions, and then you're going to find, and what I think is interesting is we are in this unique age of consolidation. And anybody that questioned me on that, check that Ryder deal from last week.
Yeah. For sure.
So huge.
What Ryder deal are you talking about, though, for context?
Ryder acquiring Carter Logistics.
Yes. Okay.
So, I mean, huge deal. Basically quadrupled their dedicated business. And so we're coming into an age of consolidation. I think Brent Orsuga called this almost a year ago, is that we're going to start seeing this. And because it is easier to fight together than fight against each other for the same forloads.
Yeah.
And so then now you have an interesting way for both VC and PE, especially PE, to look at this. Is there are distressed assets out there that they can either put together or strip out, depending on how they're going to do it. And for those who aren't aware of how those typically work, I won't get into all the workings, because to be fair, I don't necessarily know them all, but we can give at least a surface level. And so it's interesting to see how these organizations are feeling about our space, because there are distressed assets that they have good freight, they have good people, and they've got good business, but like they're cash poor, or they need some type of injection of capital. And you put them together, and then you find some complementary businesses, and you can see some really interesting things start to come out. And people are looking at, there was the line about UPS possibly selling Coyote. We got to talk about it, right?
Yeah.
And I don't know if that's the worst thing in the world.
I
think that could be super interesting.
Dude, I called this out on Friday's show, or whenever I think it may have been last Thursday. Coyote's going to be just fine. All right. If they get spun off, or somebody comes,
they're going to be all right.
Yeah. Somebody was like, oh, they're going, like, I've seen a bunch of people, all the doomsday, prophesizers who literally are not doing anything with their lives. But yeah, Coyote is going to be just fine from that perspective. But I personally think, and I thought another interesting stat that I saw, Kevin Hill posted something. Kevin started brush pass research, excuse me.
Super cool too, by the way.
Yeah, dude, I'm a massive fan of what he had. And he put out a post this morning. I think it's like between January of 23 and January of 24, 8%. There has been an 8% drop in freight brokerages operating in the United States. But he said that is still 17% higher than in 2022, I want to say, or 20. Go check out his post. He has the exact details on there. But I also always want to know how many, and I think he put a clarifying point in there, which I always love to see. There are a lot of them out there that are active, but not doing any business at all, right? And I think that that's also another clear indicator. And that's always one thing that I want to see when, and I'm not, like, obviously people are leaving the industry. Obviously, there are people out there who are going to succumb to the nature of the market and everything, but there is also, I always want to see the data. How many of those MCs that are going out of the industry, when was the last time they turned revenue? I really wish that would be something that we could see, because, or is that somebody who quit in 2023, in February of 2023, they quit, but it was still for the year, so their registration and everything, it doesn't lapse until now, or however that shakes out. I think that's like, and again, I'm not saying that the numbers aren't any better or worse, but that's data that I like to personally see out there, because it's like, when was the last time that they turned revenue? What was it, a year? Was it 10 months ago? Have they technically been out of the market, or what level of revenue were they at?
Here's another one that is, I don't know how we get this. There's two pieces. MCs that change hands. I would love to see that when new ownership comes in for an MC. Because that typically, by the way, for those who don't know, if all of a sudden new ownership takes over and an MC has not been producing revenue for a year or 2 years or 3 years, and all of a sudden starts producing revenue, that is a clear sign of somebody who burned through an MC and is trying to restart.
Correct. Fact. Also, I'm interested to see exactly what you're talking about and how long MCs are active for multiple years, but not generating revenue, because that's one of those. He's watching.
Hey, Kyle. Yes, when we talk about this, the Broker Carrier Summit.
Yes, no, I'm talking. That's the Broker Carrier Summit. Broker Carrier, my company, Kyle's company. That
yes, of course. Started.
All of that data is literally on there. We have all that data. We have, and we're gonna have some special announcements with that here coming out. But no, dude, it is a lot of that information that is very, very relative, because the FMCSA isn't going to do any of this, you guys, because, frankly,
they do not give a shit
at all. It's very evident, because at the end of the day, you guys, the FMCSA generates revenue through one thing and one thing only: people activating MCs and paying their $300+
Correct.
And then their renewal fees and everything else. That's how they make their money.
And anyone that wants to challenge that, go talk to the guys at Freight Validate, because they scour every single registration. Every single day they have a bot that does this, and every day they find at least 50 PO boxes that are on those registrations. They get passed through. They send a letter.
Kyle,
CSA.
Yeah, Robert. Sorry,
it's wild.
Kyle and I were just talking on Friday about this. Man, there's an address out there that we have all of this inside of Broker Carrier, bro, and it shocked me. There was almost 800 different businesses, technical businesses, with the exact same information at one fucking address, bro. You're telling me that you're telling me that they don't know? They know exactly what's going on, man. It's insane what's going on out there with it. But again, I digress, you guys, because at the end of the day, it's not being stopped because they don't want it to stop. All right. If they wanted it to stop, they could stop it. And if
Signal Hill, yep.
And if they think for some reason that they don't know where to start, come to Broker Carrier, you guys. We have it all set up. Signal Hill. Here's the address, you guys, right now. Everybody who's listening to this, okay, 3377 California Avenue, Signal Hill, California. Look out for that address, you guys, okay? 800 different authorities and everything are all attached to that address. Trucking companies, this is very, very, you guys need this as well. Okay, you guys need to know about this address as well, because something's telling me that they're moonlighting as a broker as well. Okay, just throwing that out there. Pay attention to that address. Thank you, Sonny.
All I can think of when I see that address is I just picture like a whole string of Borats sitting next to each other, all just dialing. Like, these my neighbor. He Chris. It's pinned to my assholes. That's exactly what I think.
You get MC.
$800.
I think of Oprah. You get a new company. You get a new company. You get a new company. Everybody gets MCs.
You get an MC. You get an MC.
Hey, no joke. Here it is. 600 of them have this email address. WTFFMCSA@AOL.com. That is their actual registered email address that is out there.
The only thing that would be better if it was at CompuServe.com.
Oh, dude, there we go. I just need my swing line stapler here, bro. I need my red stapler back. Yeah, dude, it's wild though, right? And again, like I think that this is something that is going to continue out there. And again, like when you see all of this stuff changing all the time, that's why I think it's very, very clear, because it's like I would love to know how many, and I think Kevin has this out there, like how many freight brokers do above, I think it's like $10 million in revenue or something like that out there. Like there's some really good information. And I think like that's a clear sign about like where your competition actually is out there, right? Because it's like, I look at it like this, no matter what, fraud's always going to be a problem. All right. There is a lot of great software out there that minimizes it, but criminals are going to be criminals. All right. That's what I mean by that. The market, whether it's a good market or a bad market or a down market, however you want to spin it, at the end of the day, you guys, if you're a business owner or if you're a sales rep, you cannot use that as an excuse to not make your outreaches. All right. Do your research, add value to your customers, because at the end of the day, this is, Sheridan, Corey Buchan, Sheridan, Wyoming. That's another one. 100 LLCs address to one address. And you go again, you guys, like, is that going to stop you though? Are you going to let that stop you? Or are you going to let the string of all of this stuff? Like, you got to find solutions, right? Because someone's going to find a solution. Someone's activating customers or about to activate customers, because like if you took last year off, you're off the gas from a sales perspective, you're going to be so far behind for when people start looking at new providers, because that's what's about to happen here as the market changes. People are going to look and they're going to see a guy by the name of Chris Jolly that's been in their inbox like fucking 20 times. They're going to see me and they're going to, they're going to think of me first, as opposed to the person who just reached out to them one time. So it's like, you got to be on top of this stuff, because if you're not, again, start now. Do not wait, you guys. No matter what anybody out there says, there's never a better time than right now to start developing business, because someone out there is going to win.
Bro, let me give you an analogy. I know we're coming up on time on the show here. So if you remember back in 2020, remember I busted my arm apart, right?
Yep.
Yeah. So 2 days later, a guy that I compete against all the time, get him JD, he tore his shoulder apart. Doing the same shit. And same thing we both had. We got to have surgery, all that. Now our numbers were similar. I had a little better squat, a little better bench, our deadlifts were about the same. So you talk about, and we're both about the same age. He's like 30. He's like 3 years younger than I am. He took his foot off the gas during his rehab. All 2020, all 2021, he took off. No one knows who he is in the strength world. No one. And me, again, I'm not special. I just, to your point, I'm like, rehab is my full-time job while I'm at home right now.
Yeah.
And I was back on the platform and hit the biggest raw bench I'd ever hit 7 months and 4 days after surgery. And I've gone on to add another 200 pounds to that bench, another 300 plus pounds to that squat, and deadlift is still just, we do that to finish the meet. But it's the difference is, to your point, I didn't take my foot off the gas. In fact, I hit the accelerator even harder.
Yeah.
And he dropped it down and fully stopped. And no numbers have progressed. And all we ever heard about is, my shoulder, my shoulder, my shoulder.
It happens, man. Well, hey, that is going to be it for today, you guys. I got my man Kyle Provost coming on tomorrow. We're going to talk about all of this stuff more in depth. And Robert, as always, thank you so much for joining me. And you guys,
thank you for having me, man.
Yeah, anytime, my man. And if you guys got value in what you heard, subscribe to the show, you guys. Share it out there to your network, because that's how we grow. But most importantly, that's how we help more people, is because if you see value, your network sees value as well. I appreciate you guys. I love you guys. And we'll be talking to you soon. And then we're